Greetings, friends. I'm AK.
And I'm Laura.
And we are
the Chainsaw Girls. On today's episode, oh boy, dude, I have been waiting to cover this movie since the very inception of the Chainsaw Girls.
I have been waiting to talk to you about this movie since I watched it, which was like last week.
I'm almost positive I brought this movie up to you as soon as we started the pod.
Yes, you did.
We are covering 1979's Tourist Trap.
We are both wearing Tourist Trap shirts if you're watching on the YouTube channel. Also, thank you for supporting our YouTube. Yours is bomb. Well, actually, these are both our shirts.
These are actually from Terror Threads.
Okay, I was going to say,
yeah.
I love this shirt, but you can't really see it on camera. Sorry if I just punched the mic. You can't see it as well on camera because there's like a whole thing going on down here.
It's
I can't lift it up enough.
No, it's wicked. I like this one because it's got his big old scary face on it.
Oh my
gosh.
That
mask?
Yeah. Ooh, and the mannequins.
I know, right?
Oh, just wait. I told Laura, I was like, I cannot wait to vocalize with you.
Would you like me to read the IMDb?
Yes.
Okay. A group of young friends. Oh, hello, Didymus. A group of young friends stranded at a secluded roadside museum are stalked by a masked assailant who uses his telekinetic powers to control the attraction's mannequins.
Yes, this movie, I'm so glad that we're saving this for last in our loop of recordings because even though we don't know when it's going to air yet, this movie is unhinged and we are slap happy at this point.
Oh, dude, I love this movie. Okay, before we even start, I want to say I adore this movie.
Yeah.
I saw it. It reminds me so much of like a wacky Texas Chainsaw.
Oh, yeah. That's a perfect way to describe it. That should be the IMDb.
I should be writing these descriptions, not whoever else is.
Yeah, just think of a wacky Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
You guys can't see it, but Sir Didymus has grabbed himself what would you call that?
A bear?
A black bear stuffed toy, and he is attacking the shit out of it.
Yeah, so if you hear random things in the background, it's just Didymus going ham on this bear.
This was directed by Dave Schmoller, and it was written by Dave Schmoller and J. Larry Carroll, and it was the executive producer is Charles Band. This is I'm gonna call this a full moon film.
Yeah.
However, I believe it was under the Empire brand.
Okay.
When it was released, maybe even before Empire, if it came out in '79.
I mean, it did show full moon when it played, but I don't know if that's just because later. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactamundo. You guys know I stan Full Moon. I love Charlie. I've got his book featured here. If you're a fan of Full Moon, if you're a fan of Puppet Master, you should absolutely read his book, Confessions of a Puppet Master. It's pretty awesome, and he's the best.
Yeah.
He's so sweet. And when I met him, I went to the like Puppet Master headquarters, the Full Moon headquarters, and I almost peed. I was like, this is a dream come true.
Yeah.
This budget, okay. I got mixed answers on the budget.
Okay.
So it could be anywhere from $350,000 to $800,000.
Okay.
So let's just say it's somewhere in the middle.
Sure. Low budget regardless.
Yes. And David Schmoller directed one of my favorite movies and part of my favorite franchises, Puppet Master. We love.
Yeah.
Well, at least I do.
I do like the Puppet Master movies. I will never claim to like them as much as you do. That's for sure.
I think the third one is the best. Well, okay. I'm not going to go
Well,
into it.
never mind.
I think 3 is better than 1.
Yeah.
Personally. And I love 4 and 5. Oh, and I love retro. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna stop.
Are there any sequels to Tourist Trap or is just one?
Just one.
Wow.
Yeah, just one.
Interesting. There is an uncut, quote unquote, version of this movie that I believe is just 4 minutes longer.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about that. Apparently, like, when Charlie was going to re-release it, he could only get the rights to another version of it that was missing like 4 minutes of
Footage.
What word is it? But I believe that at some point along the way, they were able to get the full version.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but it's something to that effect. I was doing some research and came across it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure which version that I watched when I made my notes, and I was like, oh shit, did I miss something important? And then I went and looked up what that 4 minutes is, and it says that all the kills and things like that are in full in the cut version as well. The uncut version is basically like scenes that are for character building.
Oh.
So maybe some little pieces that you would have missed if you didn't watch, but it's only 4 minutes worth.
Okay. This movie was actually kind of a remake-ish of the director David Schmoller's 1976 thesis short film, The Spider Will Kill You. And the story is about a blind man living in an apartment full of lifelike mannequins.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like kind of roughly based off of that.
Yeah.
I believe this is David Schmoller's directorial debut.
Yes.
And just a little fun fact, the original screenplay did not feature the telekinetic powers. But according to Larry Carroll, it was Charlie that wanted the telekinetic powers in it. So they implemented that into the script.
I mean, to me, that's the part that makes this movie so memorable and so unhinged. And throughout, I had to have said, what the fuck is happening out loud so many times when I was watching this. Because this was a first time watch for me.
Okay. Beyond it being like bananas.
Yeah.
You have to admit the sets.
Oh, yeah.
Are fucking awesome in this movie. And one of the reasons I think the sets are so cool, the production designer, Robert A. Burns, worked on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Hills Have Eyes.
That makes sense.
So he handled all the art direction and the special effects.
Yeah.
So, and also like, which included like the mannequins and their physical like manipulations and shit.
Which is so creepy.
They're so creepy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we hop into the movie?
Let's do it.
All right.
So the credits start off with some creepy ass carnival music right off the bat. And once I saw Charles Band Productions, I was like, yup.
Were you like, oh, this is why Laura's obsessed?
Immediately. Honestly, when I saw the full moon features like pop up, I was like, okay, yeah.
Anytime we cover a full moon movie, you know, I'm like, let's strap in, baby. I love it.
Yeah. We covered some of the movies that Charles Band also was a part of, like Dolls, Puppet Master, Demonic Toys. Like, if you've seen those, you know what's about to be up in these movies, you know?
No, 100%. And there's a couple more from Full Moon, like subspecies, I would love for us to cover. Like the original subspecies.
Okay.
We should absolutely add that to the list.
I haven't seen it.
Head of the Family also is one of those like crazy ass movies that I feel like would fit very well with our podcast.
I've definitely heard the title, but I don't think I've seen it, so I'm so down.
I would love for you to watch it and then call me immediately and be like, what the fuck did you have me watch? Okay. Anyways, yeah. So we open up. The music it sounds kind of like circus music that gets like super creepy.
Really, really creepy.
Yeah.
And so we start off the actual movie by seeing a man, Woody, rolling a tire down a dirt road.
At first, before I knew his name, I called him Bucket Hat Dude.
Bucket Hat. I wrote down bucket hat, plaid shirt, empty canteen.
It's like the old, like one of these canteens that looks like it's from like 1963.
Yeah, and it's very hot out. His canteen is empty. I literally thought there was sand gonna pour out of it. Like that's how it felt, like cartoons.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then we see back at the car, which is clearly broken down. His gal pal is chilling there. This is Eileen.
Eileen. Okay. I was getting Eileen and Becky, the two names totally mixed up.
Yes.
And I was telling AK before we started the podcast, in capital letters across my notes, it says, you have the names mixed up. Double check them.
Yeah.
Did I? Absolutely not.
It's okay. I got them.
You got it.
These I made sure I had the names right. Okay. Whenever there are multiple characters and they all roughly look similar, it's hard sometimes. I have to look up the cast, but then sometimes that backfires on me too.
Like Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah. But yeah.
So yes, Aileen's like checking herself out in a little hand mirror. She's relaxing next to the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Along comes another car down the road. And we meet.
That's generous.
A car. It was like what is it?
Exactly.
I'm like, what else do you call it? Like, please tell me.
What is it? Dude, it looks like a Jeep that you would like use in the army.
It looks like
you were like medical supplies would be like
like you
transported.
You sawed the top off of it.
Yeah.
Like there, even a Jeep, like even when it's open, it still has a, the frame.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I was so intrigued by this vehicle.
I don't know cars. I didn't look it up. I don't really care that much about cars. But if you're a car aficionado and you know about this car, let us know what it is.
Tell us, because I couldn't stop with the car. I was like, what kind of car is this? And why is he driving that?
I might have to actually Google it and see if it just pops up. But we meet Jerry, Becky, and Molly.
Yes.
So they all know each other.
Yes,
okay.
They're all friends.
And Eileen is, the one that's back at the car. She's irritated that Woody did not come prepared for this road trip, which, as frequent road trippers, we know that you really should have emergency equipment in your car. Like,
oh yeah,
you can buy little emergency kits. I mean, I keep a blanket in my car all the time.
Dude, blanket, jug of water, Obviously the spark gimmicks that like so you can like charge up your vehicle or whatever.
I have
what are they called? Jumper cables?
Jumper cables. I have ones that you can hook to an electronic battery. You don't even need another car.
Oh, dude, I might have that in mind because I bought like a CAA pack with it comes with all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Tire pressure checker. I got it all.
Yeah, antifreeze, everything.
And people want to make fun of me because my car is full of stuff, but like honestly, I even have like twine, bungee cables, like everything.
Maybe it's because we're from places that have really brutal winters. So we know like you have to have emergency shit in your car.
Oh no, 100%. Kitty litter too, like in the winter.
Oh yeah, I never did that one.
So that you don't like get stuck in the snow or
whatever.
in
Buffalo you have to do that.
Oh god, dude. It's rough out here. Okay.
Yeah, you get the brunt of the lake effect for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So Woody happens upon what appears to be a deserted store in the middle of nowhere.
It's like a gas station / store / because he's gonna fill his tire with air. I think that's his plan anyways. He's like pushing that shit down.
I'm imagining,
down the road.
yeah, since he's rolling it. And yeah, he goes inside.
It's like and it's like it's not just a gas station also, it's almost like a bar.
Yeah, it definitely looks deserted, whatever it is. But he's going inside to see if there's anyone to help him, if there's a phone, if there's, some direction, maybe.
Something. And like he kind of hears like, didn't it sound like sexual moaning?
Yes.
Okay, that's what it sounded like to me.
That's exactly what I thought. I thought that there was someone getting it on in the back.
Right. And like, so he calls out for someone, obviously, and nobody's answering, but we hear like a moaning, and he's like, you know what? I think I'll go to the back room.
Yeah, like, oh, someone must be back there. It
sounds like they're touching themselves. Why would you go back there?
I know. Though it's very, very faint. So maybe he just hears that a person is back there. He's like, I don't care. I need help.
Air. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he goes back there because, it's the 70s. Why wouldn't you just walk in the back of a store?
Sure.
And I was definitely not prepared for what we were about to see.
Oh, it goes off the rails immediately.
Like, if I were him, I would have wished that I was seeing two people touching themselves.
No, dude, it's like, so he sees what looks like a girl in a bed moaning and touching herself, right? Like, that's what it seems like to me.
That's not what I thought.
Oh, okay.
So you see, like it's a cot that this person, quote unquote, is laying in, and you just see the hair. But we see the side of the face, and we can already see that it's not a human.
Okay, but doesn't it sound like she's doing something to herself?
It sounds like a weird moaning. I don't know why. I think because I saw the mannequin face, my head immediately, my brain just went, oh, something is bad. Like, I don't know. The sexual part left my mind. But she definitely was making a little moaning sound.
Okay, it sounded like the mannequin was enjoying it.
No, that's gonna happen. The vocalizing kills me. That's gonna happen later. Okay, so he starts to get close, like, excuse me. Mm-hmm. And we can see that this is a mannequin face. And then all of a sudden it jumps out at him. Yeah. Just like it's on a rig or something.
Yeah.
And it starts laughing.
Like maniacally laughing.
Yes.
Yes.
And this is the first time I think I was like, what the fuck is going on? He tries to leave now, but the door is locked. Uh-huh. And then the window opens on its own from across the room. So he goes over there. Then it shuts on its own. Now this other window is locked. Then a mannequin flies through the glass of one of the windows.
Man.
Oh my gosh, the head falls on the ground. He tries another door. Another mannequin pops out. I think it's on this shirt somewhere. It looks like an evil jester face. Mm-hmm. Like it's bald. It has a torso but no arms, but it's wearing a long sleeve shirt. So the sleeves are just like flapping and it's bouncing and it is laughing maniacally for the rest of this scene. Mm-hmm. It is a long scene. I actually timed it somewhere in my notes. We'll get there. So the head of the mannequin that flew through the window turns on its own on the ground. This is where I was like, okay. And it starts laughing, like the mouth starts opening. And okay, so I was like, I can explain the rest of it, like it's hooked up to some wires or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know how the fuck that just happened.
Right.
So I was like, what is going on? Now Woody starts to try to pry the door open and he reaches his hand through a hole. He like creates a hole in the door, reaches his hand through. Now he's stuck.
Something's like grabbing him on the other side of the door, like forcing him to stay.
Yes.
With his arm trapped.
That alone, terrifying.
Yeah.
And lights start flickering. Now everything starts rumbling, shelves, doors of a cabinet. And then things start flying out of the cabinet at him, like glass is hitting the wall. These mannequins. Okay, so I timed it. It's almost 3 minutes long. This entire scene of them laughing is almost 3 minutes long. By the end of it, I was so happy for like peace.
It's chaos. It's chaotic.
Yes.
And it's loud and it's like shit, like you're saying, like shit is flying out of this cabinet at him. Mm-hmm. Like he's screaming, there's laughing, the windows, like it's just chaos.
It is overstimulation.
Yeah. Oh, it's my worst nightmare.
Defined.
Yeah.
And so finally a lead pipe flies across the room, impales him through his back. And how he sells this, it's so creepy and unsettling. He's silently frozen with his mouth open, and the camera just sits on his face. He looks like he's in like a petrified scream.
Yep. And then you pan to the little pipe, and blood is dripping through the pipe onto the floor.
Oh my gosh, yes, it sounds like you didn't shut a faucet all the way.
Yeah, it's really gross. Do you want to hear how they filmed that?
Yes.
Okay, so the set was turned on its side, and so the cabinet was on the ceiling. And so the camera was where Woody would be.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was like a sideways set, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the director and the art director, so Bob and David, there's a hole cut in the cabinet on the ceiling, and they were just whipping a bunch of shit through that hole. And so when you see it on film, it looks like it's being thrown out of the cabinet and hitting him, but really it's on the ceiling and they're just tossing shit down and it's like going towards the camera. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was kind of neat how they filmed that.
That is really cool. So now the room finally goes silent and I'm like, whew, okay, I can breathe. Even though this guy's dead. Sorry, Woody, but that was a lot. And then the camera pans across the room and we hear someone mumbling to themselves, but we don't see them.
Oh God, dude, have I ever told you how much I hate mumbling?
Ugh.
Mumbling is like one of the worst sounds. I can't stand it.
What about whistling?
Oh fuck, I hate that too.
Which one's worse?
Mumbling. Mumbling does something to me. It really is beyond irritation. It really like upsets me. I don't know why, but God, I fucking hate it.
And his is very like gravelly, like deep.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they're dragging Woody's body away, but we're just seeing the walls. We're not really seeing what's happening or who is doing this.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, this is a very elaborate setup, though I cannot explain how he did some of that at this time.
No, at first it feels like you're in like a dangerous fun house that somebody like set up booby traps in.
Yeah.
But as the movie goes on, we start to see it's a lot more than that.
Right.
So our group in the weird like Jeep gimmick are discussing tourist traps. And they're kind of driving towards a sign that says Slauson's Lost Oasis.
And Western Museum
Oh.
is only 4 miles away.
And underneath it, in like small writing, it says closed to the public. Okay, but I don't believe that they noticed that. And it's neat. You see like a crow and there's like sinister music playing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, uh-oh, we're going in the wrong direction. But our group doesn't notice that.
Yeah. When I think of tourist traps, I think of like Dinosaur World in Kentucky. I don't know if you ever passed that one.
Is that the one that's in that movie from the 1980s where the kid goes to play Nintendo?
Oh, I don't know.
What is that movie called?
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, the movie where the kid goes to play Nintendo? What?
No, you had to have seen that movie.
I don't know. You got to tell me what it is.
Oh, can you put a note in the extended?
Yeah.
We have to talk about it.
So wait, it's the movie
Just put like 1980s Nintendo movie.
1980s Nintendo.
I feel like it's called it's not called Magician. I can't remember the name of it.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm excited to figure it out.
Oh, we will talk about it. But is that what dinosaur? I think there's like a Dinosaur World in that. Maybe that's the same thing.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll talk about it in the Patreon extended. But Dinosaur World in real life is off the highway in Kentucky, and you can see the T-Rex from the highway. So like going home from Tennessee to Detroit, I would pass it in Kentucky. I think it's in Kentucky. I went with Sarah Logan once on the way home from Tennessee, and it's just a bunch of dinosaur statues in the woods.
in the woods.
In the woods, yeah. But kids would probably love it. But I see why someone would think it's a tourist trap because, like, I don't know what you expect it to be, but it's a bunch of giant, broadly drawn dinosaur statues.
Isn't like Disney World a tourist trap because you go there and you spend like all kinds of money and it's all tourists?
I think people have different definitions of tourist traps.
Okay.
So Eileen in this car, she's like, these tourist traps are all alike. It's a big buildup, but it's just a roadside shack with cheap trinkets. So to me, a tourist trap is like, they lure you in with this big promise, like, oh, this oasis, Slauson's Oasis. And then you get there and it's like,
I call them Slauson?
Yeah, you did. But I'm like, that's okay. You say s'mores too. I think it's cute.
Oh, I do say s'mores.
Yeah.
Isn't that how you say it?
I say s'mores. But I was like, maybe it's a Canadian thing. I think it's fine. But I think of a big buildup and they're lying to you. Like almost like
Oh.
clickbait before clickbait. Yeah.
OG clickbait. Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. All right.
Also the Big Apple in Ontario. I don't know why my Midwestern just came out when I said apple.
You did, but those pies are bomb.
The pies at the Big Apple?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good.
It's off the 401, right?
It is. If you're going towards like Ottawa,
Yeah.
like the 401 that way.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
our ancient 1900s Jeep stalls and it won't start. And I wrote it's probably because it's 900 years old.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with that.
But Jerry keeps trying it, but eventually the car, like, it won't even turn over. Like, they're not even able to get it to click, nothing.
Right.
So Eileen, she's like, I'm gonna run off. And she does. And she calls out to her friends and she's like, guys, I just found paradise.
Yeah, so this oasis that they were promising was not a scam.
It actually is beautiful.
It's a waterfall.
It's a waterfall. It's like a watering hole with a beautiful waterfall. And Eileen wants to go swimming. Molly's like, I don't know if I'm into this.
Okay, can I just like, describe what these girls look like?
Yeah.
Because this is a very odd pair to me,
Okay.
or trio, I guess I should say. So Eileen and Becky are dressed for a 70s summer, okay?
Mhm.
Becky is in a tube top. She's played by Tanya Roberts, who was a bombshell.
I was just about to say that.
In the 80s, she would go on to be a Charlie's Angel. She was a Bond girl. She was on the cover of Playboy at one point. Like,
Smoke show.
yes,
They're all
exactly.
beautiful, though. Let's be
They're
real
all
here.
beautiful.
They're all gorgeous. Yeah.
But Molly is dressed like she just got done churning butter.
No, it's so true. She looks like she's from Little House on the Prairie.
Yes, she's wearing this
Churning
frilly
butter.
She's wearing this frilly loose white dress. She has a large brimmed hat on that's tied around her chin with a ribbon. Like she looks infantilized.
I feel like she's like, here is our final girl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I wrote they went hard here with the innocent virgin final girl, which probably wasn't a trope at this time. So the innocent virgin trope in horror started becoming popular with the rise of slashers in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Films like Halloween from 78.
Oh,
could be
I
considered one.
got things to tell you about Halloween in this movie, but anyways,
Ooh,
keep going.
I'm so excited.
Mhm.
So that's an early example. That was 78. This is 79. That trope is now, it's just being developed, really.
Yeah, but also there was Texas Chainsaw Massacre and
Yeah.
Sally survives,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if Sally, they didn't say anything about Sally being a virgin. Though.
Exactly,
Yeah.
So Molly is like, we don't have bathing suits because, she's wearing a frock. Is that what they call it?
I don't know.
What is a frock? Continue.
So Jerry's working on the car while they're all sort of like, whatever, chatting with each other, wanting to go swimming. And then we see the POV of someone who's spying on the girls.
Yes. Also, side note, frock is just a dress. So I don't know why I was thinking like a frumpy dress, but that's what I'm picturing.
Okay,
Continue.
a frock. I like it. A man approaches the gals.
Yes.
He's wearing a cowboy hat. He's got overalls on, and he's holding a big old rifle.
Yeah, and they're also, I might have missed it when I was looking it up. Did you say they're skinny dipping?
No.
Okay, they're skinny dipping. They're naked when he
Yeah,
walks
well, they
up
don't
to
have
them.
they don't have bathing suits.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which I would have thought like, okay, go in your underwear or something.
I mean, listen, how many times
I
on
know.
this podcast do we have to say, I wouldn't even be near that water?
There was one time in high school I got in a pool in my underwear because I didn't have a bathing suit.
Oh, I've done it. I've
Yeah.
done bra and panties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bra and panties match. No, I'm just
Let's
kidding.
go. No, I've gone swimming in bra and panties when that's all I had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he approaches them and he asks them if they're enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
And he tells them he used to charge 75 cents a day to swim in that like watering hole, but the
Yes.
government decided to build a new highway and he lost all of his business.
Oh my gosh, he talks about the highway so much that I thought it was going to play a little more into the story. I think it's just him not being well.
It's also there's also a direct line from Psycho where he says, once they moved the highway, I'm afraid we lost all of our business. So I think it's a
Yes.
little homage to Psycho.
There you go.
Yeah.
The way he speaks, I also want to say this is Chuck Connors
Yes.
playing.
Do you know he used to be a baseball player?
He is the first or one of like 13 people, and I have the actual facts at the end of my notes. He's one of like 13 people to be in both the MLB and the NBA.
Dude, he is tall.
He's like 6'5". You love a 6'5".
I love a tall guy.
I don't know why I laughed so hard.
One box, check.
He has really nice teeth too in this movie. I will say.
Second box, check.
But Chuck Connors, he goes all out for this role. He is known for Westerns too when he became an actor after doing sports.
I love this. Yes.
Doing the sports, But It's so funny because how he speaks, I was like, oh, this guy has been in like Westerns before. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's
and you
like,
even said you thought he was like classically trained.
yes, and he's not.
He's
He's
not.
self-taught.
Dude.
Yeah.
So cool.
But he definitely had acting experience at this point.
Mhm.
He goes, when he said the 75 cents thing, he's like, used to be, I'd charge 75 cents a day to swim here. Used to be, like, just how he was speaking, I was like, okay, I love this guy.
I know, I love him too. But he also was like staring at the girls.
Yeah.
And he asks Molly what her name is.
Just Molly. He didn't ask anyone else.
Dude, I like recoiled. I'm like, oh God. And she tells him, and he tells her that he likes her name.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because it's so. I would immediately be like, okay, guys, let's wrap it up. Let's get this car on the road. You know what I mean?
And also imagine being the other two girls where he's just now talking to Molly and you're just sitting there naked, covering yourself. Sorry, I just hit the mic. And going like, will he please go away?
It reminded me of Zombievers.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the dude in Zombievers? I wonder if they pulled some of that from this.
Oh, I wonder if they were inspired. Yeah, because that's very, very similar. And so he tells them
more about the highway because he will not shut up about that highway.
He will not shut up about it.
He tells every single person he runs into about the highway multiple times throughout this movie.
Yes. And so this is Mr. Slauson, and he owns this place. And he says that he came down there to warn them that they should leave before it gets dark outside. And they're like, why? What happens when it gets dark? And it sounds like he's going to say a killer's on the loose or something. But he just says the watering hole fills up with water moccasins.
Dude.
Which are snakes.
Say less. I'm out. I mean, as soon as he said that, I've been like.
Oh, they did. And they're like, all right, bye. And they go back to Jerry.
Yes, exactly. And they tell him also like they didn't mean to trespass, that their friend Woody went to this gas station.
Yeah, they're looking for him.
Yes, and he's basically like, he tells them that he can't help, but then he goes on to warn them. It's really weird. Like, it's a whole strange interaction. It's very awkward because on the one hand, he's sort of offering to help them, kind of, but then he's also being very ominous and sort of like this is my property.
Yeah, and you're trying to figure out here, is he weird or not?
Yeah, that's the thing. And the girls like start like giggling and shit because he decides to go see Jerry.
Yeah, so before Mr. Slauson sees Jerry, the girls are telling him like, yeah, some old geezer ran us off. He was weird.
Right. Yeah.
And then Molly feels sorry for him. And Becky's like, how do you know he doesn't like to chop pretty girls up by moonlight? And then I do like the interactions between this group. Like, they're all good friends.
Yeah.
Eileen says, yeah, they always get the pretty ones first. And Jerry's like, well, if that's the case, then you girls have nothing to fear. Got him.
I mean, and to be fair, Mr. Slauson is really fucking weird.
Yeah.
And one thing to note here is that the music, it sounds very like movie of the week.
Okay, I wrote down it sounds like we're watching Little House on the Prairie.
It is. And also, one of the reasons why is because the music and the sound effects are all like, I don't know if you would call them stock sounds.
Okay.
But they had to use, basically, I feel like it had something to do with them running out of money.
Okay.
Potentially. I'm going to keep reading through my notes and I'll find the exact quote on that. But they used sounds and things like that from different movies. Like, for example, you hear like in the opening sequence where you're hearing like laughing.
Mm-hmm.
They actually used that in Lady and the Tramp.
Okay.
The cartoon, which I freaking love. And it was also used in Disney's A Small World attraction.
Oh.
Yes. And there's also, I believe it could be a gunshot. I think it's a gunshot. And I want to say it's from Gone with the Wind.
Okay.
Like, they had to use sounds from different movies.
Right.
And so there's like tie-ins to like different movies, which I thought was kind of fun.
Yeah, that is.
Mm-hmm.
So they get back to the car and Mr. Slauson is waiting for them. And he offers them a ride back to his place so he can get his tools and try to help them with the car.
Yeah, try to help.
And at first I'm like, Molly kind of stares at him, but then she's like, okay, and like goes with him, and then they all go along.
Mm-hmm.
And so he takes them to this closed Western museum.
Hold on, I gotta read you my note.
Oh, yeah.
It says, Molly's like, hell yeah, let's go to your house, man, that we just met holding a giant gun.
Exactly.
I'm in. Like, what?
She really did just waltz over there like, yeah, let's go, Mr. Slauson. So he takes them to the museum. It's closed, but, you know, he's taking them there because we'll find out that he lives there.
Yes, and it is real creepy.
Yeah, he starts telling them how his wife passed away.
Like shortly after the highway was built.
And I'm like, why is he obsessed with the highway? I think it really is just like, the older generation is upset about these new things coming in. I don't know if that was a part of it, but he mentioned the highway a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so he says he was kicked out of the Navy when he was 19.
Oh yeah,
He was kicked in the head when he was 20 and kicked out of jail. Not out of jail. He was kicked into the jail when he was 21.
Yes. I mean, red flag, red flag, red flag.
I literally wrote, that's 3 back-to-back red flags.
Huge.
Y'all need to get the fuck out of there.
Huge, yeah.
Like, why were you kicked out of the Navy? Did you get a brain injury from being kicked in the head? And why did you get put in jail?
I know. Those would be my top 3 questions.
Those should have been the follow-up questions, but they don't ask anything.
No, instead, Eileen points out how lifelike the wax dummies look.
Mm-hmm.
And he does go on to tell them that his brother made them and that his bro moved away and is working for this big-ass museum out of state. And he shows them like a soldier dummy / mannequin with a gun.
Yeah.
And then he also goes on to say that he like lives in the museum or like that's like his home, basically.
Yeah. It's a lot of Western cowboy type animatronics almost.
Animatronics. It's almost like Chuck E. Cheese, legit.
Yeah.
And then Eileen notices a house outside and she's kind of like, so who lives over there? And he tells her David Crockett. And then he like winks at Molly when he tells her that.
Davy Crockett?
Yeah, Davy Crockett.
Yeah. And then he shows them his General Custer mannequin and says, I need to keep these two away from each other, and starts laughing. Tell me why I went down a rabbit hole about this, and I don't know why. I think I just love random rabbit holes. But I wrote down like, oh, some Western humor for you. But Davy Crockett and General Custer never would have met because they were both from like different eras.
Mm-hmm.
I just looked into it because I didn't know if it had a purpose.
I did too. I didn't even know who Davy Crockett was, so I wanted to know who he was, what that was all about.
I just think of like the raccoon hat and a gun.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But that was way, way before my time. But yeah, I don't know. It was just, I think, to emphasize more that he's just like, oh, he's kooky. He's a little wacky,
Yeah, he's eccentric.
He also kind of jump scares the kids with one of those mannequins that does like a fake gunshot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. He's just like showing off all his dummies and shit. Like he's kind of like just showing them all like, look at all this, look at all these things and all everything that they do. And yeah, like the gunshots and this and that. Like it's like he's proud of his museum. Yeah. However, the museum is now closed.
Yeah, and he also tells them that his brother was a real talent with the mechanical stuff, okay? Gears, pulleys, that kind of thing. So I'm like, okay, I'm thinking about the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He also pronounces a lot of words very interestingly throughout this, and I don't know if it just had to do with him being a little off or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, nope, I live right here in the he's like, museum.
In the museum.
Instead of the museum, it's museum.
The museum.
I'm like, okay. He does that a lot throughout this movie. That's why I noted it.
And I want to say that is a choice because there is a distinction between Mr. Slauson and I don't know what you would describe the mask wearing fellow.
His brother.
Plasterface.
Plasterface.
That's what I think some of the crew called him, Plasterface.
Yes, I did read that too. I know that his brother has a name, but I'm looking it up. So you can continue. I'll look it up.
But that's not actually his brother.
I know.
Oh.
But sorry, spoiler everyone. I'm just kidding. It's all spoilers.
Yeah.
But they called him something. Like I think he had a name. I don't know if it was Davy or something I read said they were referring to him as Davy.
Oh, the mask guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him Mr. Plasterface.
Okay.
But please look it up because I'm curious. Please. Okay.
Yeah.
So Mr. Slauson and Jerry go out to work on the Jeep. And he asks the girls to guard the museum for him. He also tells them he doesn't have a working phone. And he does warn them that they shouldn't go outside because there are coyotes out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually made a note that he talks kind of weird, like you just pointed out.
Yeah.
And Eileen, she knows he's weird.
Yeah.
Like she calls it out pretty quickly.
Yes.
Like she's like, and Molly and Becky, they seem to like not really think anything of it, which like I would be like, this is a bad situation.
Right.
But Eileen is like, sure. She's like, no. There's something going on, and she wants to go outside and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
We do hear coyotes, so he wasn't lying about that.
Right.
There are coyotes out there. I mean, I guess they are like in the sticks. But she goes up to the house.
Yeah.
Because I think she wants to see if they have a phone.
Yeah.
Like she's curious, right? And she does hear like someone talking.
Yeah, I think she's also curious because when she was looking out that window earlier, Mr. Slauson was like, he kind of pulled the curtain down on her, like, don't look out there.
Yeah.
Also, I did find it. He is credited as playing Mr. Slauson and Davy. So I think because they said, who lives over there? He said Davy. And even though they were like, Davy who? And he's like, Davy Crockett, who else? I
Yeah.
think he refers to his brother or whatever that personality is as Davy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Okay. So what do you want me to refer to him as?
You can say Plasterface.
Okay.
I like that too. I like that.
He does look like a plaster face.
And that sounds like a wacky Texas Chainsaw Massacre version. So
Plaster face, aka Davy, aka he's crazy. Okay.
yeah.
So she goes up to the house, she hears people talking. And we hear kind of like a woman's voice and a man's voice.
Mm-hmm.
And this is very well, we talked about this Texas Chainsaw. She just walks in the house.
Of course she just walks in. It's the 70s.
And I literally wrote in my notes, why the fuck do people just walk inside houses that aren't theirs?
I hope they don't do that now.
Could you imagine, first of all, someone knocking on your door who just shows up? Like, low key, I would love it if my best friend did that.
Yeah.
Or like my sister or something. Like, I would love that. That would be awesome.
I would immediately think something's wrong.
Me too.
Something bad happened. Why would you just show up and not call me? But my doors are locked at all times. No one's walking. No one's waltzing up in my house.
No, locked all the time. Yeah. But yeah, she walks in the house and she walks into the living room and she immediately finds two dummies sitting in chairs and like talking to each other. Like, that's what it looks like.
Yes, but when she walks in, they just are sitting there. So you're like, okay.
Yes.
You don't know. And then you hear someone whispering, Eileen. And she's like, Woody? I'm like, why do you think it's Woody?
I'm like, girl, it's not your boyfriend. It's not.
Yeah. So she goes into another room that's also filled with mannequins.
Dude, it's so wild.
All different types of mannequins.
Do you know how quickly I'd be out of there? Well, I wouldn't walk in, but how quickly my ass would be. As soon as I saw a mannequin sitting in a chair.
Yes.
Done.
Those elderly mannequins, I would have been out.
We're out. Yeah.
And so this room is also filled with mannequins.
And it looks like they're all dressed up and hanging out.
Yes.
Like this is a social engagement or something.
And she sits down and she like sees this red scarf and she's like,
this looks nice. I think it would look nice around my neck. Number one, girl, this ain't your house. Number two, that ain't your scarf.
And why are you not creeped out?
There are mannequins that are clearly staged.
I understand that you just saw his museum. You know that he has these things. Okay, it's probably the brother's
okay.
stock.
Okay.
But still, I would not want to be in there with them.
No, dude.
And one of the
like, don't you think your intuition would kick in and be like, leave,
yes.
get out of there, you know?
Absolutely. One of the mannequins' eyes start moving, just like to the side, like.
Oh, the eyes are scary.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So creepy. She's looking in a mirror. Eileen is.
Fuck, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about those mannequin eyes, like.
Yeah, it's so creepy. It reminds me of the movie Dolls.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mr. Punch.
Mr. Punch.
I love Mr. Punch.
There is a Mr. Punch almost in the end of this movie. We'll get to it.
Okay.
So she can see someone come into the door frame behind her.
Oh, she's like looking at herself in the mirror, right?
She's looking at herself in the mirror, and this person is wearing a doll mask. The eyes look completely hollow, blonde wig, and a bucket hat on top,
Dude,
which
the bucket hat
would have been Woody's.
Would have been Woody's, dude.
And honestly, he was giving me Zeke the Plumber vibes from Salute Your Shorts. Did you have Salute Your Shorts? I need to post a picture to the Instagram. I'm highlighting this comment so I can show you what Zeke the Plumber looked like. I swear it looks like him right here, which was like the scariest episode of Salute Your Shorts.
Dude.
And Eileen is like, Woody, all like coy. Girl.
That looks nothing like if you think that looks like Woody, I have to ask if you're on drugs.
Like maybe she thought because he was wearing the hat that it's Woody fucking around with a mask on. But
Dude,
no.
It doesn't even look like a human.
It's so scary.
Like, how long have you been dating to think to seriously consider that might be like if I saw someone with like hair like that,
yeah,
and a I don't know, dress like you, but had a fucking weird face, there's no way I'd be like, oh, that's gotta be AK.
Yeah. Also, this Woody would have been 6'5", and you know your boyfriend is not 6'5".
No.
You know that.
He ain't Mr. Slauson.
So that's I don't know how tall Woody is, but
and Woody looked leaner.
Yeah,
not
he's
that
smaller.
Mr. Slauson is like Mr. Slauson to me looks a little jacked.
He's a big guy.
He's a big dude, yeah.
He was an athlete. Okay.
Come on, he was in the NBA.
So then the mirror shatters by itself, and we get a close-up of the mask here. It is so gross. It
Ugh.
looks like his tongue is hanging out
Ugh.
of his mouth, like underneath the mask. Ew.
Oh God, it is so gross. I'm sorry, I'm picturing it.
Eileen is too stunned to speak. And then things start shaking around the room. The door locks. A
Similar
chair,
to like what happened with Woody.
yeah.
Yeah.
A chair flies up behind her and forces her to sit. And then, because I'm thinking once again that maybe there's like everything is rigged up.
Like there's pulleys.
Yeah, because they're in his territory. So I don't know. You don't know what he's been doing all
Like
day.
booby traps.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Home Alone.
But then the scarf starts to tighten around her neck. And I'm like, okay, there has to be something supernatural going on. I mean, you already know from the IMDb description, there's telekinesis going on. But I went into this not knowing anything. I'm like, what is happening? So I'm like, okay, he didn't just rig everything. Now, back at the museum, that's all we see. She's getting strangled, okay? Back at the museum, Monty...
You know, this new character, Monty. You know what I'm talking about, right?
we can leave it.
Molly and Becky.
Molly is playing with buttons, being nosy as fuck. And one of them lights up a mannequin on this like lit up display. Okay, she has
dude, it looks like Mother Mary. Like, you know, the Mother Mary displays.
I could see that.
Right?
But like with twinkle lights.
Like they borrowed my twinkle lights. She's got like brown hair. She's beautiful. She almost looks like an angel.
Yes, she's
Very
wearing
angelic.
an angelic white gown is what I wrote.
Yeah.
And there's music playing. It sounds like it's similar to like a music box type song playing.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
But her face doesn't just look like a mannequin face.
Dude.
It's Uncanny Valley.
Yes. And Molly touches it and it like feels like skin.
Yeah, she jumps back. I think she did such a convincing job.
Yeah.
She jumps back like she's startled and she says it feels like flesh. And then Becky touches it as well and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you're right."
Yeah.
And it must be some kind of special rubber, which why would you think anything else?
You definitely wouldn't automatically be like, skin.
Yeah.
Although, I don't know, we might.
I know. Oh, it's skin.
It's definitely skin.
So Molly gets freaked out now and she turns it off.
Yes. And then Mr. Slauson walks in and freaks the shit out of them.
Yeah, they hear a noise outside the window. Becky goes to look. And as soon as Mr. Slauson walks in, the curtain flies up at the same time.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, scared you, did I?" Which at first you're like, oh, that sounds like just a coincidence. Maybe Becky knocked the curtain. But you'll find out, no, Mr. Slauson is fucking with them.
Oh, 100%. He also keeps handing them Diet Pepper. Diet Pepper.
Diet Dr. Pepper or Dr. Pepper.
I could go for a Diet Dr. Pepper right now,
I
dude.
love a Diet Dr. Pepper.
You like the one with the strawberry and cream?
Yes, that one is so good.
Dude, oh my God. We should hit 7-Eleven and go get some Diet Pops.
Have you ever like poured your own pop into a slushie?
Like, what do you mean?
Like you can make your own slushie. You just pour that pop into like enough ice and it makes a slushie.
Whoa, no, but that sounds good. Did you ever do slushies with ice cream? I used to get those from the ice cream truck.
No.
Yeah, we would get like a blue slushie and then you would get vanilla soft serve in it.
But I love a root beer float.
Oh, I haven't had that since forever.
Or guess what? You can put any pop in a float. I just want everyone to know it doesn't have to be root beer. This is a game changer. I thought there was a rule when I was a kid. I was like, wait a minute. Why are we not doing this with the other beverages?
Stop the podcast. Guess what?
Breaking news. Okay, this is definitely our last episode of The Loop.
Woo! Okay, so he keeps giving them Dr. Peppers because he has his own pop machine, which I have to say that's pretty sweet.
That is pretty sweet. I mean,
it's another checkbox.
Own pop machine? Check. I mean, it is a museum, so it makes sense.
He has his own business.
Check. Just all the checks from Mr. Slauson so far.
Oh,
there are no red flags so far.
Not at all. He tells them that Jerry drove into town.
I say there's no red flags. We literally listed off 3 in a row when he said he went to jail.
That and he's got a whole museum of mannequins. I feel like that's a pretty big one.
Yeah. Whew, okay, sorry.
So hot.
But he's 6'5".
Look at all I'm saying is let's drop a pros and cons list, AK.
Yeah.
Okay, so he tells them that Jerry drove into town to like get help for the Jeep.
Yes.
And then he decides to be a big fat bummer and tells them all about his wife dying.
Oh, yeah.
that she was like a really good worker and she made some bomb ass chili. And they really wanted to make this museum a tourist resort with like a big hotel next to it and like next to the spring so people could like go hang by the waterfall and there's like a nice hotel there. But unfortunately, sadly, she died young from cancer.
Yes. And not only did they want to make it a resort, they wanted to make it a real fine resort.
A resort
Is what he says.
He also tells them that she died in his arms.
Yeah.
And then he tells them that it should have been him.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just say what I wrote in my notes?
Yes.
That's some pretty heavy trauma dumping on two gals that you don't know very well.
Yes, he definitely does not have anyone to talk to. We know that.
No, for sure. But like that is some heavy stuff that you just like unloaded onto two people that you don't really know that well.
Yeah.
Like they're just like trying to fix their car.
For real. And they're like, uh-huh.
Like, I really want you to see a therapist. Have you
Yeah.
thought about cognitive behavioral therapy?
He could really benefit from it, actually.
No, and it is really sad. Like, I know I'm joking and laughing about it.
Well,
but
we, knowing what we know,
yeah, right, exactly.
I actually don't really feel bad for him.
I know. He's just being like a really big fat bummer. And but he also notices that Eileen is gone.
Yeah.
And he acts like he's pissed about it.
Right.
And concerned about it.
Yeah. We also do find out in this scene that Becky and Jerry are married. Because he asked them.
Oh, I didn't catch that
He's
at all.
He's like, you two been married long? And she's like, no, not long.
Oh.
So I'm like, good for you, Jerry. You pulled
newlyweds. Oh yeah, Jerry.
Becky. You
Damn.
pulled a Charlie's Angel.
Oh hell yeah. He also declares that that she must be snooping around. That's what he thinks she's doing.
Yeah.
So he goes out to look for her.
I think he's convincing. He's like, oh, I told her not to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So you really are like, okay,
You're like, is there someone else?
There might be someone else. We don't know yet. So now Mr. Slauson is in the house and he's looking around for Davy.
Dude, this is what, like, I think that this is when I first watched this movie, I did think that there were like more than.
Me too.
I thought maybe there was like two people involved.
Yeah.
Because he's walking in their room and he's like, Davy. He's like looking for Davy.
Exactly.
Right? But he walks into the room and Eileen is now a mannequin with the killer's like weird face mask.
Yeah, so we see it's like her hair, what she was wearing, that red scarf still, and the mask. This was actually a little confusing for me because later we're going to see Davy changes like Leatherface does.
He almost looks like Leatherface at dinner.
It literally is so much like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I really didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, multiple outfits, multiple characters, and I think multiple, maybe even personalities for the sake of this movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And one of them wears a red scarf. So I was like, wait, is that Eileen? It took me a minute and that confused me. The red scarf confused me.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Who is in the basement strapped to the table?
That is Tina.
That's not Eileen.
Correct.
This is another person.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I was also like, anyway, we'll get there.
Yeah,
okay.
we'll get there.
So, and the mask is kind of like on my shirt. If you guys are watching YouTube,
yeah,
the mask is essentially what's on my t-shirt.
It's so scary. And also when he sees Eileen as the mannequin, Mr. Slauson, we're only seeing him. He's alone in there. So he could have been like, ha, but he wasn't. He sees her and he goes, my God.
It's like he thinks that there's cameras on him or something.
Right. Or
I mean, the cameras are us, but like, I'm saying like, it's almost like who are you doing that for?
I think, especially for the 70s, this is probably like, oh, this is what split personalities looks like. Like maybe he believes that he really is Mr. Slauson right now and he's not Davy.
Dude, good call.
Yeah,
yeah.
So now back at the museum, Molly is looking through old photo albums. She's nosy as hell, honestly.
She is, but you know what? I don't blame her. What else is she gonna do?
And especially because
there's no internet.
That's true. What are you gonna do? Look at your phone? You can't. So also with weird things going on, I don't know. You probably want to be like, oh, let's see if this guy's a weirdo since he just left us here.
I mean, you're wondering now if he's a weirdo?
I know.
Like, and I'd be on foot. I'd be like, let's just walk.
No, for real. And so she sees a picture of him and what must be his brother. Oh, this must be his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And then she finds a picture of who she believes must have been his wife. So now they turn back on that mannequin display and they start comparing. And as they're looking, Mr. Slauson's voice interrupts. And he says, I loved her very much and wanted to keep her memory alive forever. And, Molly's like, oh, she was very beautiful. And he says, she still is. Mm-hmm. Like, get it right, bitch. Mm-hmm. And, they ask, where's Eileen? You went to go find Eileen. And he says, he didn't find her. She must have went back down to help the Jeep, Jerry. Mm-hmm. I don't know where she is. So now we're like, okay, we know that that something happened. and you're lying to them. But that could have just been like, oh, I don't know how to tell them their friend is dead. So you don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
But Becky is like, she went by herself and without telling us. And he's like, well, where else would she be? And he grabs his shotgun, grabs his shotgun off the wall. And the girls are like, what are you doing? And then he's like, going to find her. And they're like, with a gun? And he puts it back and he's like, okay, without a gun.
I actually loved this interaction
Me
because
too.
it really felt real.
Me too. And I feel like he always has really good excuses for why he's probably not the killer.
Yes. And I loved how he just went like, all right, then I'll put it back. Like, relax.
Yeah. He's like, okay, it's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And so they asked to come with him. And he's like, no, it's best you ladies stay put right here. And Becky insists they go find Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck Eileen, I guess. They didn't even mention Eileen. And so they go and they head out with their flashlights. So near the other house, the girls hear what they recognize as Eileen's laugh. They're not with Mr. Slauson, by the way. He went to do
Yeah,
his
he
own thing.
goes in there and Becky isn't about it. She's like, no. We're going to search for the friends.
Right.
Yeah.
They think that Eileen and Woody are in that house fooling around because they can hear their voices.
Okay.
Which I'm like, okay, if you hear both of them and you're like, oh, they're playing a prank on us, I guess.
I guess, but I don't know, dude.
Yeah. Now, Becky.
I would be so pissed though if
yeah.
I thought that that's what they were doing. I'd be pissed.
Like, we were worried sick about you and y'all were in here fucking around, literally.
Yeah.
Becky climbs up a trellis and goes through the second story window of this
Dude,
house.
I lost it when she did that. She was like, I don't care. I'm going in there. They're
Because-
fucking with us.
Did she even try the front door?
That's what I mean. I'm like, she's like, you know what? I'm just going to go. It reminded me of Pin.
Yes.
Remember the kid that like climbed the trellis?
Yeah. Like, nope, I'm going to climb this trellis instead. Fuck the front door. That's
Mhm.
too obvious. Molly's not having it. She's like, I'm not going with you.
I don't blame her. I'm with Molly.
I mean, also, I wouldn't want to stand out there by myself, though. In the dark, that would also be scary. I don't know what I would do.
I wouldn't go in someone's house that I don't know,
No.
regardless of what I heard.
I feel like I would go close to the house, but like hide
Like
behind
hide
a
in
bush.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So inside the house, Becky is searching. She's going down the hallway that's just filled with mannequins.
And
Every room.
she can hear giggling.
Yes. Every room is filled with mannequins. Even the hallway is full of mannequins.
They're everywhere, man.
Yeah.
It's like, it looks like a department store.
Mhm.
It's like I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh my gosh.
There's just mannequins
Yeah.
everywhere.
So she goes into this room. She sees figures under sheets on the bed. So she's like, you guys. And she goes and takes the sheets off. And it's just a mannequin with like makeup and
With
lipstick
lipstick.
smeared all over
Ugh.
its face. It's very unsettling.
And I literally wrote, why the fuck does she still think they're in there?
Yeah.
Like after that, you like,
right.
girl, I mean, there's so many warnings.
Yeah. And I think, honestly, in real life, in real time, I think we do try to rationalize situations that are scary like that. If you don't have a definite, blatant thing in front of your face, it's easy to be like, oh, well, it's just this, especially when you have other people with you, which she is alone right now. But before, it's like, oh, well, do they look alarmed? It's like that, what is it called? The bystander effect,
Yeah.
where you don't like help people in need if there's a group of people because you assume someone else is going to do it.
No,
Similar to that.
That's true. I think part of it to me is like, I guess it really is dependent upon the situation, but I can wholeheartedly say I'm pretty confident that if I walked into a house and it was filled with mannequins, that would be I'm out of here for me. Like I would be like, it's time to go.
Yeah.
I don't care. I will walk into the dark besides being in here. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, to get away from that for sure. To get away from dozens and probably hundreds of mannequins.
And I do believe we all have like intuition. And I don't know about you, but I've been in some scary situations. I think I told you this. I was in a situation not long ago where I could feel in my gut, it was like warning bells. It was like, you need to get out of here.
Yeah.
And I don't care if it's irrational. I listen to that.
Yeah, better safe than sorry.
Because I think our we pick up on things. We pick up on subtle changes in behavior and subtle changes in environment before our brains can catch up with what's actually happening.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like an instinct. Animals are the same way, right? They can just pick up on when something is not right.
Yeah.
That we might not be able to cognitively like see it.
Yeah.
But we do know something's off.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
That does make sense. And I think, unfortunately, we talk ourselves out of that situations with rationale.
All the time.
You know, we try to think too much about it actively when really it's like
it can't be that.
I think it's a subconscious thing.
Yeah.
That you need to trust.
100%. It's like, Of course there's mannequins in here. His brother made mannequins. They have a fucking wax museum, blah, 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 blah. But all that to say still, dude.
But do you feel scared? Do you feel tense? Listen to that.
Listen to your body, man. You got goosebumps, goose pimples? Get out of
I
there.
hate goose pimples. I hate that word. But yeah, Becky does start to get a little scared here, and she doesn't have much time to really rationalize anything because I wrote that creepy ass person in a mask, so Plasterface, appears here behind her, but she doesn't see them. Okay. They've changed outfits and hairstyles. Oh, I did right here. I'm like, oh, look at my notes. I wrote it's giving Leatherface in the original Texas Chainsaw. Dark curly hair this time. Okay, not the blonde bob.
My
Yes.
And it's almost like the Phantom of the Opera in the sense that his mouth is open.
Yeah.
So the mask covers from his nose and then his cheeks, but then his mouth is open so he can talk.
Right.
Well, he makes weird noises. Eventually he talks.
Right. And so Becky walks into a room where she thinks she sees Eileen from behind sitting in a chair.
Yeah.
And I mean, she kind of is, I guess.
Uh-huh.
And it's her mannequin, of course. And she spins around and she jumps out at Becky once again, almost like she's on a rig. Like she jumps out and pauses like it's an animatronic and scares the shit out of Becky, obviously. She kind of reaches for her. Becky jumps back and Plasterface attacks her, throws her to the ground.
Oh, he like climbs on top of her.
Ugh. And then he locks her in the room, which also has a bunch of mannequins all around.
Oh my God.
Like they all do.
Dude, this scene is
oh
insane.
My gosh.
Dude.
So now now the song that's playing sounds like women's voices are singing along with it. This reminded me so much of Yellow Jackets.
That's what you kept saying, and I still can't. You gotta play it for me later.
We're gonna play one episode of Yellow Jackets later, and just
I've watched it. I just don't remember what you're talking about.
But if you just play any episode where they're in the woods, all of that music, it's the reason I know is because of closed captioning. It says women vocalizing.
And so Becky's there, and these mannequins are closing in on her, dude.
Yes, it's like her POV from the ground.
It's like a dog pile of fucking mannequins.
All their heads just like they're wobbling too. It's so weird.
Dude, I know.
One of the mannequins' eyes glow. And then she opens this door and all these mannequins fall on top of her.
Dude, I think it's a pretty fucking gnarly death. I'd be so scared. I think I might have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Like that is so scary, dude.
Oh my gosh. And then
it kind of does remind me of Dolls though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Once they were in an attic or what I thought was an attic, I was like, this is so Dolls.
Yeah.
And so then Plasterface starts touching her face and muttering. And she grabs a random mannequin arm and clocks him with it.
Good for her, man.
But before she can escape, a bunch of the mannequins start rocking back and forth again. Once again, they're singing a cappella or whatever they're doing. And they fall on her again.
And he's kind of like laughing and he's like grunting to himself.
It's so creepy.
Ew.
And they're making like breathy moaning noises.
Dude.
Yeah. So now we cut to a dark, damp basement where there is a woman, Tina, tied to the table.
Yeah, there's like water dripping. We hear breathing through like a mask.
Jerry is tied to the stairs, basically.
Yeah.
But he's in the basement, but like tied to a post.
Yeah, it's almost like when you're going down the stairs of your basement and there's like the crawl space underneath the basement. He's attached to a pole that's like attached to the stairs.
Right.
Am I describing that correctly?
It's like a post that's supporting the stairs.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
And so Plasterface or Davy or whatever you want to call him carries an unconscious Becky downstairs and ties her to a post as well.
he tells Tina that he brought her a visitor and tells her how pretty she is.
He keeps saying, "You're so pretty.
Pretty girl."
And it's a very raspy, deep voice.
Okay, if a man ever calls me pretty girl, I think I might throw up in my mouth. Like that is so
Pretty girl
icky.
is something you only say to birds that can repeat it back to you. Pretty girl, pretty girl. My friend had a bird that would say that.
Yeah, or like a cute like dog. You'd be like, "You're such a pretty girl." Like, I don't know. I feel like calling someone pretty girl like makes me feel so uncomfortable. And he says it a lot.
A lot. And then he's like, "Why don't you like me?"
It's like, I don't know, motherfucker. Maybe because, you know what I said in my notes? He sounds like Kane when Kane had the
voice
Yeah,
thing.
the voice box.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because you have me tied to a fucking table.
I don't know, because maybe all your friends are mannequins.
So then he leaves and
he stomps up the stairs like grunting.
Yeah, just mumbling to himself. So
Yeah.
obviously this is who was mumbling to himself in the beginning of the movie, that when he was dragging Woody away. And so Becky, I was like, wait, which one is it? Becky is like, who is that? And Jerry tells her it's Slauson's crazy brother.
Yes, which I think is actually, in that moment, it makes sense that Jerry would think that, because Slauson told them about his brother Davey and that he lived in that house and da-da-da-da. So it makes sense that he's like pieces it together.
Yeah.
Right?
And Tina tells them she was just stopping for gas along the highway. She didn't even see him coming. So he just snatched her up.
Yes. And they're all going to die.
Oh my gosh. She's like, he's crazy. We're all gonna die.
Oh.
And then she looks at them again from the table, you know, she just looks up and she's like, we're all gonna die. I was like, all right, relax. Like I would, if
like,
I was,
girl, stop it.
If I was Becky, I'd be pissed. Like,
no, I'd be like,
shut the fuck up.
You need to stop. You need to get it together. Yeah. All right. We're not gonna die here. And if we are, we're all gonna go down swinging. So get it together.
That's exactly how I would act. We talked about this in another episode. Like, no, we are going down swinging.
Dude, there's no way. I'm just giving up, man.
So now Molly is alone in the museum.
She's hanging out with the wife mannequin, and it turns itself on.
I wrote, girl, are you obsessed? Because she goes over to it again. I don't think I realized it turned itself on here. I just thought she was obsessed with the wife.
She is. Like, I think she's drawn into it.
She is.
Because it is that uncanny. It looks like a real woman.
Yeah, and she starts, you know, we mentioned she's wearing a long angelic dress, the mannequin. So Molly goes over to her and she starts kind of putting the sleeve of the dress on her own arm. Like, she's imagining wearing it.
So this is what I'm wondering. Like, are you, because he has telekinetic power, like, does he have, is there a way that he's sort of influencing her? Like,
I don't think so, only because I would imagine he would have been able to influence her all the way to like be on his side.
So this is just Molly being Molly.
I think she's just probably intrigued.
And I've been sitting in this museum for a while. I don't know where everybody is. God, that's a nice dress. I'm gonna feel that lace.
Yeah, maybe I can find
what's that.
Ask him where she got it from.
The stitching. I love the stitching.
And so, yeah. And also she likes Mr. Slauson at this point.
That's true. That's true. She does. Yeah.
I think she finds him endearing. She feels bad for him, as she mentioned earlier.
Yeah, she does. She's like caring. She's caring. And the actress that plays her, I believe her name is Jocelyn. Yes. Jocelyn Boop. Jocelyn Jones. Jocelyn Jones was a trained actress, and David Schmoller credits her for helping him working with the actors because he would do line reads to her, and she basically snapped at him and was like, "Don't fucking line read." And he was like, I will never do that again.
What is a line read?
Line reading is when the director tells you exactly how to say your line.
Okay, like before you've even said it, he's like, this is how you need to convey it, like that kind of thing?
Like, it's like you say your line and then the director will feed it to you the way they want you specifically to say. It's a no-no. Like,
okay.
Actors don't fucking like that. You know, tell them what you need, but don't tell them, like, this is how you say it exactly like this.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of line reading.
I wonder if he told Chuck to say coyotes and stuff like that. I don't think so. But the whole point that I watched a documentary, and I'll put it in the show notes, but yeah,
he talks about it. He says, like, I didn't know how to talk to actors. This was his first like directorial debut. He didn't know how to talk to actors, and she had experience. And basically she was like, don't do that. And it taught him how to talk to actors. She's also the daughter of Henry Jones.
Okay.
So she definitely comes from show business.
Yeah.
Right? So she taught him that. And he was like, all right, noted.
Wow. And that's so interesting. She works so much with Chuck Connors, and Chuck Connors was a self-taught actor.
Yeah, but he was good.
I thought he did great.
I love him. I think he's great at it, man. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, so now we see Plasterface or Davey or whoever applying makeup at the vanity. So this is very Texas Chainsaw. I know we mentioned in the Texas Chainsaw episode that was a cut scene from Texas Chainsaw where Leatherface was actually applying the makeup.
Yeah, dude. He is ready to roll, man. He's getting himself fresh and sharp. He even puts on a fucking top hat.
Yes, I wrote top hat. So third outfit change tonight, fashion icon.
For real. He's like, we are about to party and I'm getting dressed up for the occasion.
Yes.
I don't even dude, I don't even dress up for anything.
No.
Like, if I wear jeans, that's a big deal.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Like, sometimes even putting on a nice, not sweatpants outfit after a show after you've wrestled.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, do I have to?
Dude, no.
Can I just put on leggings?
Can I just throw on a matching set?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Even that for me, I have no fashion sense, and I admit that. I love my random sweatpants. I'm wearing ghost face sweatpants that you can't see.
Yeah.
And then of course this tourist trap shirt. But I feel like I will dress like this every single day.
I'm a basic black leggings, basic black crop top, white socks, sneakers, 24/7.
But that's so cute. I feel like you have such a cute aesthetic. Even when you're like lounging, you still have a cute aesthetic.
Oh my God,
I'm like,
stop.
I want to look like Adam Sandler. Purposely.
Okay,
like
when I'm alone, girl, when I am by myself,
yeah.
it is Adam Sandler up in this bitch, man.
I have two.
I look fucking
Yeah.
I look like very disjointed.
I have two modes. It's
Tell me.
Adam Sandler and then like dressed up all the way for a
Snatched.
wrestling show.
Yes, me too.
Like completely dressed up. Like it's either gonna be, or like I'm going to a wedding. Like I'm in full glam and a dress, a gown, or I'm wearing like leather pants and a spiked
I always
jacket.
think you look great. I don't know what you're.
Thanks.
I think you have a great sense of fashion because it's you. You wear what you like. That to me is style.
I agree with that. But I feel like I don't know how to dress for a normal shit.
I feel the same way. That's why, you know what you never can go wrong with? Straight up. Jeans, white or black t-shirt or long sleeve that's fitted.
Yeah.
And booties. And if you don't feel like wearing booties, wear cute chucks.
Yeah.
All white chucks.
Mm-hmm.
Or dunks.
You know what? That's funny because that is how I went out
Leather
recently.
jacket.
I went out
Done.
recently to do like axe throwing.
Yeah.
And that is what I wore. We have to go. I know. Don't lose your notes.
We are supposed to do that.
I know. We're going to.
We are supposed to axe throw. We're supposed to rage room.
Rage room. I have to look that up to see where one is. Okay, I will tell you now that I've scouted this place out. I will take you next time because they have axe throwing and it's like a bunch of other activities. The paper just landed right by Toby's face and he is not fucking impressed. He just huffed. He was like, bitch.
He's like, what did I do?
Not only axe throwing, they have the star throwing too. We're gonna go. Don't worry. We're gonna go.
And we gotta put like, okay, I won't say that in the episode.
Yeah. Okay.
I know exactly what I was gonna say too.
Yeah.
There's a rage room close in Buffalo too.
Fuck.
Seriously.
Okay.
You can't do this stuff without me.
You know
okay?
what? The next time we do a loop, we have to add on one more day.
No, we do.
We have to.
I think it should be, we should add on a day after.
Yeah.
So that we can celebrate the loop because we
Yes.
never do. We just work our asses off and then we're
know.
both like, let's get up at 6 a.m. and drive home.
Well, I know. We're like, all right, good night. And then, yeah, exactly. Because it's, we record a lot of episodes at once. So it's a lot.
We're just like,
okay, bye. But yeah, we're going to. Okay, so Plasterface is all dressed up and he is now putting on a top hat. He takes a tray of beverages downstairs and he's like, we're gonna have a party. Yes. How do I look?
And Jerry, before he comes down the stairs, Jerry is trying to bite through his hand ties.
Yes.
Killer Plasterface, he has wine, and he starts forcing them to drink whatever the fuck. I'm assuming it's wine. I don't know, but he's forcing them all to drink.
Yeah, he's trying to get them to drink. They refuse, and he's like... So he's like, it doesn't matter. He drinks it himself. So
he throws a drink in Jerry's face.
Oh yeah, he does throw one of them in Jerry's face. He when Tina refuses, he's like, whatever, it doesn't matter. Drinks it himself, smashes the glass, which I've always wanted to do that.
I know.
To just slam something back and throw it against the wall.
Dude, that's one of the reasons why I like acting. Because you get to do all these make-believe situations that you would never do in real life.
I'm going to fit that into a wrestling vignette. I need to find like little fake glass or something.
Yeah, like sugar glass.
Yeah. I want to do it with real glass.
Okay.
Anyway, so it wasn't poisoned apparently, but still, they made the right choice to not trust him.
Mm-hmm.
So he tells Tina again, you're so pretty.
Ugh.
It's a shame you have to die.
God.
Like, bruh.
It's so gross. He grabs a bucket of plaster.
Oh my God.
Which is actually pizza dough. It's gooey pizza dough.
Still. I assume this actress actually put it on her face.
Yeah, it's pizza dough. Yeah, it's like gooey. Did you ever get? I had to get a full cast done when I was in makeup school because you have to like learn how to be casted.
I want to do that. I want to get that done so I can have an actual what's it called?
Like a mold of your face.
So I can do like prosthetics for my actual face.
That's what I had to do. I did in makeup school. I had to do prosthetics, and they made us do a full cast on ourselves so that we knew what it was like to have it done.
Were you claustrophobic?
No, it didn't bother me at all. No.
Do you have to have like a thing in your mouth to breathe?
I think I had a straw or something.
Yeah.
I think there was a straw. I had to do with I did it on my ex-boyfriend as well. Because I ended up sculpting a Buffy vampire face on him.
Oh.
Like I did a whole sculpt of like, I'll show you pictures.
Yeah.
But I did like, it was very, it's one of the things I'm most proud of because it was so hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had to do a full cast of his head and he was game, man. He was down to do it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I want to do it so bad, but I'm also scared.
It's cool. It's really not that bad. Like I'm not claustrophobic. The only time I've ever had a claustrophobic moment was when I did the casket match with Sue Young. Like the Buried Alive match. When I got thrown in that casket, I had a full-blown panic attack.
Oh my gosh.
Full-blown panic attack. I couldn't breathe. I fucking lost my shit. And I never thought that would happen to me. It's the only time I ever was claustrophobic.
Yeah, I'm not claustrophobic either normally.
No, even like I've had MRIs. I just chill.
Yeah. But I don't know, just the idea of everything being covered.
It feels like you're drowning.
Yeah, that's what I'm not looking forward to.
It does. You just gotta chill. You just gotta know that ain't what's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And so he is strapping something around Tina's face and nailing it to the table to like keep her head still.
Like a vice.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. And he tells her it'll be quick, but it won't be easy.
Dude.
And he starts explaining everything that's going to happen to her as he starts putting plaster around her face.
Dude, he straight up tells her she's going to die of fright. She's
Yeah.
going to die of fright.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Like telling her like you're not even going to suffocate, your heart's going to burst before that even happens.
From being so scared.
Yeah. He's talking the entire time. So this scene lasts a minute.
He loves the sound of his own voice.
Oh, he absolutely does. This scene lasts an uncomfortable amount of time. So then he starts saying things like, it's getting dark. Is it getting harder to breathe?
You'll panic as I seal the lips.
And then he's talking about sealing the last holes, which are her nose. It's so fucked up. So yeah.
I said he sounds like he's from New Jersey.
Yeah, he's about to seal her nose and he tells her she won't suffocate. Her heart will burst before she loses consciousness.
He taunts her the whole time.
And Becky and Jerry are witnessing this whole thing.
So they know
happen.
that they're next.
Yeah, it's torture for everyone.
And you can hear her heart beating. It's like beating like crazy. Ba 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 ba. Then she dies.
Mm-hmm.
And he declares that now she's one of us.
Isn't she pretty? Like,
no,
bruh.
dude, no.
Yeah. Jerry has been chewing his ropes this entire time. Smart.
Yes. Yeah.
He breaks free, jumps on Plasterface, tries to hit him with something, I think a little axe, but he gets overpowered.
Like immediately.
Plasterface launches him against the wall.
Dude.
He's a big guy. And grabs him by the throat, grabs Jerry by the throat. And
dude, Jerry's like pleading with him. He like full on choke slams him. Like it's like choke slam style.
Choke slam style, drags him up the wall.
Dude. He is like Kane, man.
I know, he really is. Jerry's feet are just like dangling. I mean, Jerry's probably like what? 5'8", 5'9" or something?
He's not 6'5", girl.
He's not 6'5", I'll tell you that. So
I don't even think he's 6 foot.
I know. Yeah, so he has a long way up the wall. It's just such a visual. And so, he is not successful, all right? And now Jerry is tied back up, and Plasterface is sitting down painting what is now the mask of like Tina's face, right?
I don't know why he was like pissing me off at this point.
Because he won't shut the fuck up.
He's such a cocky little fuck.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine going on a date with this guy? He would be like, no, listen. I don't mean him specifically, but I mean that he's so like chatty.
Oh, someone that won't stop talking about themselves.
Yes.
And doesn't ask you a single question about yourself.
And if they do ask you a question, it's because they're waiting. It's a setup so that they can talk more about themselves.
Yes. Yeah. They're asking you so that they can tell you. God, yeah. Oh, my
gosh. God.
So he's telling them like, she's a pretty girl. I'm going to stop doing that voice because I feel like I'm really going to hurt my throat. I kept her hidden from my brother. All he cares about is that foolish museum of his. He drops a key as he's rambling. Okay. And he's telling, I keep wanting to say Terry, but it's Jerry and Becky. He keeps telling them like, you know, he makes me wear these stupid masks. It's because I'm handsome.
It's because I'm so handsome. Okay, tell me you're a narcissist without telling me you're a fucking narcissist.
And he doesn't want his wife to see me. He's afraid that she'll be attracted to me. That's how he says it.
Don't you just want to backhand him?
Yes.
Like, you want to talk Delulu? That's not the kind of Delulu I am. You know what I mean? Like, you got to have a little Delu in you.
Sure.
If you want to get shit done, right?
Yeah,
you got to believe in yourself, right?
Absolutely.
This is the wrong kind.
Absolutely.
This is the kind where you just want to stuff a sock in this guy's mouth.
Though also, I am laughing at the same time at how eccentric he is, and I do think it's funny.
No, it's hilarious. Also, as this is going down, Molly's in the museum and the phone rings.
Yeah.
And she picks it up, but then the line clicks. Now, remember, he told them that he does not have a working phone.
Right.
So, how did the phone ring? Nobody knows. But
Well,
she
Oh, go ahead.
she like grabs the line and she realizes that the cord's ripped out of the wall. So, how did the phone ring?
Right.
Right? She grabs a flashlight and she's like, "You know what? I'm going outside. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on." And then the wife lights back up.
Yes. We also do see back in the basement that key that Plasterface dropped, Jerry sees it and he tries to grab it secretly, but it's another fucking trick.
Dude, I'm telling you, this is like dating a magician. Can you imagine? He'd be pulling coins out of your ear all the fucking time.
I thought you were going to say something other than ear, but
No, but like honestly, like could you imagine? He's like, "I got a new trick, babe." Like all the time.
I mean, if you're pulling money out of nowhere that you're actually pulling it out of thin air, that's great.
I mean,
I
I
love that
guess
trick.
so, but imagine.
No, I know. The key starts sliding away and Jerry's trying to grab it, keeps sliding away, and Plasterface is like, "That's a great trick, isn't it?" So he's just fucking with them again.
And he tells him like that he has power and his brother hates it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he holds up his like mask like it's a piece of artwork.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something, it does not look good. That was not a good paint job, dude.
It is the shittiest paint job ever. Like
Like-
I thought he'd have more skill.
That's what I'm saying. And he's so high on himself,
Yeah.
like the worst type of person. You're like, it's not cool. Your dance moves suck. You're not funny. Like, I'm sorry.
But it also does make sense if you think about it, that if the brother was the one that had all the skill, it makes sense that this person doesn't know how to paint like his brother might have.
Right. Exactly.
So yes, Molly is now going outside and she's going down this hill and she has her flashlight and now out pops another Plasterface, but this time with a short blonde bob with bangs. Okay.
Dude, this one I think was the most wild.
Oh my gosh, this one's so creepy. So this one is, I believe, his childhood self.
Yep.
This is what this one is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
got a
also-
fucking bucket hat on again.
He has the bucket hat. He's also holding a mannequin head this time that he holds out to her. The mouth opens and goes, "Ugh!" It is so unsettling to me. Unsettling is an understatement for this entire movie. It is so creepy.
It's wild, dude.
Molly obviously runs, okay? And she finally gets to a road. She flags down a truck. It's Mr. Slauson.
It's stupid Mr. S, man.
He just happens to be driving by in his truck. Though you're also like, okay, if you are all these people, how are you doing this fast?
I would 100% think that Mr. Slauson is this dude. Like immediately I would think that.
Well, the only thing is the timing. You would be like, well, there's no way you got out of costume that fast.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
But
Also, it's just so Mr. S he doesn't come across as a normal person. I'm sorry, but he doesn't.
He's not. He is not. I will confirm.
No.
So she gets in the truck and Mr. Slauson's like, "Oh my gosh, what's wrong? What happened?" And she's telling him and he's like, "Well, what did this thing look like?" And Molly's like, "He was wearing some kind of mask." And Mr. Slauson slams on the brakes. And he's like, "Oh my God."
It's so dramatic.
I love it. That man is my brother.
It's so dramatic.
And Molly is actually pissed. And she goes, "You were hiding him, weren't you?"
Mm-hmm.
He killed Woody. Like now she knows he killed Woody. And he says, "He's my brother. I had to protect him."
He also tells her the mask is meant to look like him when he was a kid. And then he tells her all about his family drama.
Oh,
like
yeah.
he has dumped so much of his trauma onto poor Molly.
Yeah, he is now saying the opposite of what his quote unquote brother said in the basement, where he's like, because he says, "What mask was he wearing?" And she says, "It looks like a doll's face," which they all do, but she doesn't know that. And he says, "Oh, he was trying to look like me when I was a boy. Always wanted to be like me." Like, really? Because he just said that he hates you. So
Yeah, dude, which one is it?
right. And so she wants to call the police. And he's like, no, let me go find him first.
Also, but he doesn't have a phone, girl. He already told you that.
Exactly.
So,
So
like-
how are you going to do that? So how he says he's going to do it is, how is Molly going to do that? Right.
Yeah, because
right,
she's like, we
right.
got to call the police.
I think she wants to, like, I don't know, him to take her.
to drive somewhere.
Yeah, take
I
her
would.
into town.
I might honestly steal that truck, honestly, at this
I'd be
point.
like, "Okay, Mr. Slauson, yeah, go do your thing. I'm taking your
I'm
fucking
taking your truck. I don't even know if I'd tell him. I'd be like, yeah, you go do it.
Yeah, because he tells her, okay, I'm just gonna go turn the radio on because my brother always comes to the radio, which I don't
I'd
know.
be exhausted by this family.
That excuse, it sounds like a very bumfuck nowhere depression era farm type shit.
I agree, man. I agree.
Which, based on his age, I guess makes sense. Because I was like, what? Your brother always comes to the radio. But I guess if, I don't know, whatever. So Molly is scared, but he's like, look, you don't even have to come in. I'm just going to go in and turn on the radio, which sounds logical. It sounds like, he's not like, come inside, He's like, don't worry, you don't have to come inside. She gets out of the car anyway for some reason as soon as they get there. It's just like Trish in Jeepers Creepers. Like, you just said you weren't getting out of the car, and then
she
do.
does anyways. Yeah.
He hands her a shotgun or some type of rifle.
Oh, this is pretty funny. She's like, I don't know how to use this. And he's like, it's not hard. Just point and pull the trigger.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot more that goes into it.
I know. I've
sure.
never shot a gun.
If you have already set it up to fire, then sure.
So Molly's alone outside now.
Yes.
It's super creepy. And here comes the killer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Molly screams for Mr. S.
Oh my gosh. Before he even shows up, it pisses me off so bad because she starts yelling for Mr. Slauson after like 10 seconds. He goes inside and she's like, she looks around, she's creeped out. Not much time has passed at all. And she starts yelling, Mr. Slauson, Mr. Slauson, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
And I'm like, bitch, are you trying to draw attention to yourself?
It sounds like it.
I mean, she did, because here comes the killer. And so, yeah, behind her, we see a different version again. It's Davy, quote unquote, this time with the black wig and that red scarf.
Yeah, this one I said he looks like, he's like a mix between Leatherface at the dinner party in part 1 and Leatherface in part 2.
Yeah.
Like, it seems kind of like a combo of those two.
Yeah. So here's where the red scarf was kind of confusing me, because I was like, okay, did he just take it from
I think he did.
Eileen? But then later, I think we see Eileen again. I think we're going to get to it. But I think we see her again with the red scarf.
Well, he has powers. So
Right.
I chalk it up to like he just has powers and he can do whatever he wants.
That's true. Maybe he just keeps switching
He's
them
like a
out.
magician. He truly is. He's got all the scarves up his sleeves.
Yeah. So he keeps approaching. Molly's like, stay back, stay back. He keeps approaching. So Molly shoots him. Not once.
She shoots him multiple times.
Twice
Yeah.
she shoots him. He slowly gets up. He looks like he's hurt. And he goes, bang, bang, you shot me with blanks. And then he goes, bang, bang, you're dead. Bang, bang, you're dead.
I know. And it's like, it's obvious that it's Mr. S. Like, he's wearing jeans.
Yeah, at this point, I was like, okay, it has to be him.
So she whacks him over the head with the rifle like a bad bitch.
Yeah, I was
She's
like, good for you,
boom.
girl.
I went, good, girl, good. And then the mask comes off, and it's Mr. fucking Slossman. And he looks fucking cracked,
You said
man.
Slossman.
What's his name?
Slauson.
Keep it in. Keep it in,
It's
Amelia.
Mr.
Don't cut it.
Slauson.
Mr. S, all right? Let's keep it in Mr.
Yeah,
S.
yeah. And she says, you, and runs away.
He looks fucking cracked, though, for real.
Yeah, smiling. He has really big, he has nice teeth.
He does.
But he has like a really big smile. So it's just like extra creepy,
The fact that he's smiling is like, oh, there's something about like someone smiling at you when they're doing something sinister that is just like, oh my God.
Yeah. And so she starts running. She's running through the woods. She's running through the river. She gets to the water from earlier. And I'm thinking she's going to try to hide in the water, maybe. I don't know what she was doing.
Oh, man.
Or like automatically when there's a chase scene and someone runs through the water, I always think about like, oh, we got to make sure the dogs can't sniff us anymore. But there are no dogs in this scene.
Oh, yeah. That's actually a really good point.
Because I was like, why is she getting in the water?
Okay, speaking of dogs, look at Sir Didymus.
They're both sleeping so nice. And Toby's paws are like this, crossed.
Oh, babies.
So she's looking, she turns around and she's looking for Mr. Slauson. Well, he pops up from under the water.
Like Jason style, man.
Jason style. How did you get in there? But once again, I mean, I guess he has telekinesis for himself too.
Dude, look at Mr. S is very powerful.
He can transport.
He's powerful and tall.
He grabs her by the neck and slowly starts pushing her into the water because it's so frustrating to watch because, girl, fight back. You already know how I feel about when people don't fight back.
I know.
Now we cut to Jerry and Becky back in the basement. Becky's able to slide Jerry some type of file or something with her feet, and he starts cutting the ropes.
Right.
Then we see a real confusing and bizarre scene, okay?
Okay, I actually wrote, I'm getting a bit confused with the timeline.
Yeah.
The timeline here started to like mess me up.
Yeah, so we're back at the house or somewhere where there are a lot of mannequins.
A
So I'm
lot of
assuming
mannequins.
the house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Mr. Slauson is bringing soup to what looks like his brother in the full getup with a black wig, red scarf.
Uh-huh.
And I believe it's his brother. It could also be Eileen. I don't remember. I think Eileen is the one that's wearing the netting over her shoulders.
It's a mannequin, though.
It's a mannequin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying it's a mannequin dressed as his brother.
Right, dressed up like Davy.
Right, yeah.
That's where I was confused. I think it's Davy.
And there's like playful music.
Yeah, and he goes, "Eat your soup." And he also is talking like this.
He's like, "Oh, you need more crackers?" "Oh, yeah, more crackers, please. Good crackers."
Yeah, and there's no response from this mannequin.
Dude, he's definitely got some problems, man. Shit.
And then Mr. Slauson puts on a half mask, and then immediately the mannequin picks its head up and starts talking. And says, "Yes, the crackers are very good." Just like that.
Like, what?
And I'm like, okay, so is Davy real? And then its head falls off.
Dude, okay, but this is where the timeline gets so confusing to me. Because now, after this happens,
Mm-hmm.
Molly and Mr. S come back in the truck.
Do they?
But I thought they were already there.
I didn't write down the truck. I wrote down that meanwhile Molly's tied to a bed.
Yeah, and then my next note is Molly is in a bed surrounded by mannequins.
Yeah, I don't remember them getting back in a truck. But maybe they did.
I don't know. I didn't say they got back in the truck. I said they came back in the truck.
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't know.
So I'm not really sure, but when the head falls off the mannequin, Mr. Slauson is like, "Oh, I have to fix that." So I don't really recall off the top of my head if that was supposed to be Davy or Eileen, but it definitely was the curly hair, red scarf,
Right.
and it was very confusing. I think it was just to show, he's lost it.
Yeah, like I don't think there's any relevance to the scene except to state that just to show that it's definitely one person doing all of this.
Right.
And he's not well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, now we see that Molly is tied to a bed. The covers are like pulled up to her chin. And Mr. Slauson brings in, now I think this is the mannequin version of Eileen because she is wearing the netting. This is why I was getting confused. And he sits her down and makes the mannequin jump out at Molly like earlier, which of course scares the shit out of her. And then Mr. Slauson goes into this whole thing and is like, tells Molly, "Treat me right and I'll be good to you. I can do anything I want to you."
It's so nasty. He
Ew.
He calls her a pretty girl.
So much. Starts grabbing her face, and now he's getting on my last damn nerve.
He does tell her he can turn her into a dummy if he wants to. Like, he's a real creep.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm waiting for someone to knock his fucking block off like one of those mannequins.
Dude, same.
And so Jerry and Becky finally get themselves free and start walking through these mannequin-filled hallways. So they're going to find their friends.
It's like a mannequin maze.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Slauson, they stumble upon this living room. Mr. Slauson is sitting on the floor. This is probably why you're getting confused too, because it's like he's in the room with a random mannequin. He's in the room with Molly, but I think it's just, I don't know, he's all over the place. Quite
He's
literally.
everywhere.
Yeah. So Mr. Slauson is sitting on the floor dressed as that little boy version of himself with the short blonde bob and that specific like doll mask. And what I imagine is probably a representation of his actual mom and dad, which were those elderly mannequins from earlier sitting in the rocking chairs. And he's playing with baby dolls. And his mom is telling him, "Be still and don't fidget so much." So I feel like he's just reenacting his childhood.
Yeah.
And then he hears a noise, so he goes to investigate. Jerry and Becky pose as mannequins in the hallway, which I thought was so smart.
I thought it was very cool. Yeah, smart. Yeah.
They just blend in. And now Jerry is trying to escape because he gets found by Mr. Slauson. And so he does what anyone in an 80s or in this case late 70s movie would do. He jumps through a closed window.
Sure does. And that stunt was done by the actor John Van Ness. He did his own stunt and he jumped through that window, baby.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So now Becky runs the opposite way through the woods. And, Jerry runs one way and Plasterface follows him. Becky runs the other way. But Plasterface follows Becky. And she falls in the grass at one point, but she just looks tired. And I'm like, bitch, if you don't get up.
I know.
Because she just kind of sits there after she falls. Around the corner.
She's also running barefoot, dude.
Yes,
which is really hard.
And in real life.
And yeah, like that's miserable, man.
So that the actress actually wanted to be barefoot because she felt like it would be more real.
But she ended up like cutting up her feet and shit. Yeah, dude.
I mean, it was more real.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why she didn't get back up. She's like, I can't.
She's
walk.
like, I'm done. Cut.
But around the corner comes Mr. Slauson.
And he's like hobbling along.
Yeah.
And he picks her up. Like he pretends like he's there to help her.
Yeah, because remember, she doesn't know that he is the brother yet.
He's the fucking worst, man.
Yeah. So he takes her inside of that main museum room and puts her on a bed or cot or whatever and says, let me go get my doctoring kit. I'm like, what is this guy's vocabulary? And Becky hears someone whispering her name, like they all do at some point. So she gets up to go look around. The lights start coming on to reveal the different mannequins. So we see like the cowboy from earlier. There's a Woody one in the actual flannel and the bucket hat. And she recognizes this and is upset. And then all the Western ones start firing actual bullets. So we saw that they fired earlier, but it was just like a blank or whatever prop that just to scare them. But now they're actually firing. So she starts running around. Mr. Slauson is sitting in there now just watching and smiling like a creep.
Yep.
And then there's one that has axes or hatchets or something and starts throwing them. And the second one lands right in the back of Becky's head.
It's actually a knife. Like it's a knife that hits her.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to know how they did that?
Yes.
So the actress, let's look up her name, shall we?
It is Tanya, I want to say Roberts.
Okay. So Tanya has a big wooden block. Basically at the taped to her neck. Sort of like her neck and the back of the head. She's got a big wooden block. They had a knife on a wire. Okay. And the block was under her hair and it was like taped so you couldn't see it. And then the knife went down the wire. It slid down the wire and flew into that piece of wood that was attached to the back of her head and her neck. And that sound effect was actually the knife hitting that, like getting stabbed into that piece of wood. Like they didn't add that. That was like,
what?
Dude, that's how they did that stunt. Isn't that crazy?
What?
Yes. I know. Am I explaining that right?
Yes, but that just blows my mind.
Dude, isn't that crazy?
That sounds so scary.
I would be so afraid of getting my head like cut off.
I'd be like, I need more money.
I'd be like, I don't know. You know, I feel like I could go a different way.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like I don't actually need to be standing here for that.
Exactly. Yeah. But pretty crazy, eh?
Yeah. So Becky is dead. And now we cut to Molly.
And I don't know if you remember, but the sound of the knife going in, it's gnarly. That's what stood out to me was that sound.
Yeah.
It was like a thud.
Yeah. Now I want to go back and listen to it. But I'm also going to be grossed out, I think. So now we cut to Molly, who is still in that bed. She is sweating profusely. She looks over at one of the mannequins and suddenly it's a real person who wipes her sweat away, gives her water. And then she asks the mannequin, would you take me home? And then she looks back and it's a mannequin again. So this is either a hallucination or she's losing it. Which
definitely a hallucination, I feel like.
Probably, yeah, a little bit of both.
And that was actually David Schmoller's wife, then wife.
Oh, okay.
Who stepped into that. Yeah.
So now Mr. Slauson, I'm sorry, not Mr. Slauson, Blonde Bob, whatever, plaster face comes in.
Oh my God. He picks her up and puts her on a mattress on the floor. That is so scary to me. As soon as I saw that mattress, like my mind went to some really dark places. I was like, shit, dude, this is really scary.
Yeah. Something about a mattress on the floor. I'm like, absolutely not.
It's so scary.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Presumably in the attic for some reason, I feel like.
It looks like the attic. Yeah.
He keeps picking her up and moving her into different rooms and it's driving me crazy.
I know.
But yeah, he lays her on this mattress. She's shaking. She's cold. And Mr. Slauson is just sitting in the chair staring at her. And at one point, he closes his eyes because he's now Mr. Slauson again.
And he keeps calling her little girl. Let's not gloss over that because it's fucking gross.
And of course, there are mannequins everywhere. I feel like we don't need to tell you that. In every room of this house.
They're everywhere.
Yeah. All the mannequins start singing again.
And like moving around.
Yeah, and so Molly starts crawling away slowly, and Mr. Slauson's eyes open, and he's just watching her. It's very odd, which, I mean, that's an understatement, but all the mannequins start moving in different ways, okay? So some eyes are moving, some mouths are opening, some are singing. Molly is screaming, stop, stop. And she basically ends up in the fetal position.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Mr. Slauson picks her up and takes her into a different room.
He's like, it's time. Like, time for what, dude?
He
Like,
says he says it used to be his brother's room.
yeah.
And I'm like, why are you just moving her room to room? Like,
His brother's dead now. He was a good man, apparently. Like, what are you talking about? He puts a mask on her and tells her she reminds him of his wife.
oh my gosh.
And he starts making out with her in the mask, dude. I knew as soon as I saw that mattress that shit was gonna get weird, dude.
Oh, like weirder, we should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of alludes to the mask being his wife. Like that might have been the mask of his wife's actual face.
He tells her to talk to him and tell him she loves him. Oh my God.
Which she does, because what the fuck else are you gonna do in that situation?
Oh, it's so
But
gross. He's kissing her and shit, dude.
he's kissing like the mask and like, ugh. But seeing her terrified face be covered by this mask that had a little smile on it was so unsettling.
No, dude, it was so scary, man.
And then he starts to like kiss on the mask, and when he takes it off of her, because she kind of pushes him away, and when the mask is removed, it goes from like this little like whatever smirk to her terrified face again. And there's just something about that visual that is so it just makes me feel some type of way.
No, dude, it's so scary. And like, he starts kissing her and then he stops and he looks at her and he's just looking all fucking crazy, dude.
Like he gets mad.
He looks like, I can't tell if he's angry or disgusted.
Yeah, it's when she tells him that she loves him. He's like,
yeah, it's almost like he's shocked or something. I don't know, brought back down to earth. I'm not sure. But he tells her that he killed his brother and killed his wife because they were whoring behind his back.
He says when he says, I killed her. I killed both of them. Molly grabs a random doll and holds it really tight, which I thought was so funny because it's a random doll and it looks creepy as shit.
Dude.
Like that would not bring me comfort.
Whoring.
They were whoring behind my back. Whoring in my own house.
Dude, when he kept saying whoring, I'm sorry, I was dying.
Honestly, it goes along with all the rest of his vocabulary and pronunciation.
Dude, the fucking music was killing me here too.
Yeah. And so he tells her she and him had to die. I got a legal right to that.
It's his legal right. You cheat, you die. That's it.
Yeah.
What?
I'm
Who's
like,
making the laws?
I'm like, yeah, that's not true. So obviously he has lost it.
Uh-huh.
So even back then, that was not true. Then he says, you know, after he missed her, and that's why he made the figure of her to keep her alive in that way.
I mean, obviously, come on.
Yeah. And then he tells Molly, I can't let you go. You know that. You'll have to join the others. And then there's a rattling at the door. Mm-hmm. It's Jerry. Jerry has come back. And they get up and go into the other room where like Jerry is knocking at the door. And Molly calls out for him, so he knows that she's in there. Mm-hmm. He breaks in the door, which this whole time they're just watching him. He like puts a hole in the door, reaches through, opens the door. Mr. Slauson's just like, what's up?
But there's a reason for that.
Yeah, because he has powers, so what? He doesn't have to rush, I guess.
But also, that's not the only reason.
What?
Because Jerry's a mannequin. It's not really Jerry.
Oh, he's about to be. Oh, that's true.
That's why he
the whole time?
Yeah, that's why he doesn't care.
I didn't even think about that. I was thinking he just turned him into a mannequin right then.
No, he's definitely donezo.
That makes so much sense. So Jerry is calling for Molly to come with him.
Yeah.
And there's a moment of hesitation. And for a second, I actually thought that she was going to be like, no, I'm staying with Mr. Slauson. Because she kind of liked him throughout the movie, you know?
I
don't
guess,
know.
yeah.
And Jerry asks about the other girls, and Mr. Slauson just laughs. And when he laughs, he's like, he looks like Fire Marshal Bill. Because he has like no upper lip when he does it. I have lip gloss on, so I can't do it.
I love it.
But Molly says, kill him, Jerry.
Just kill him.
Kill him. And Mr. Slauson is like, he can't. And Jerry is frozen. So because Jerry looks like a person, he doesn't look like a mannequin at all. And he's also, Mr. Slauson is telling him about the other girls being dead. That's why I thought he like put some spell on him right there. It could be, I mean, he could have been the mannequin the whole time and he's making him do all this.
That's
because
what I thought.
Because he's a showman.
Well, that's what I thought because he was like, the only reason I thought that also is because he does that like little thing with the key and he's constantly dressing them up. Like, you know, I don't know.
No, that's very possible.
It's my guess.
I didn't even think about that, but that's very possible. So yeah, Jerry's frozen and then Mr. S starts moving him around like his arms like a mannequin and then takes his head off and smashes it on the ground like porcelain.
Dude, it's crazy.
And obviously Molly loses it. She's like, this is not thing, and like drops to her knees.
Dude, it's wild. It's wild. And then they're like whispering, join us.
Oh my gosh. And
Join
then
us. And Mr. S is like dancing with his dummy wife.
he's dancing with one of the mannequins who turns into an actual woman
To a human.
before Molly's eyes. Yeah.
Yes.
Now a bunch of the mannequins start moving forward, but a lot of them look like actual people now. One was very out of place. So that was the one I said looked like Mr. Punch. There was one that comes out of the shadow like, and it has the hook nose and a wrinkly face.
Whoa.
Did you not see that one?
I didn't think of him as Mr. Punch. I didn't put that together. It could be like Mr. Punch.
It might be. Oh my gosh. And knowing the connection, maybe it actually is.
I don't know, because this came out before. But
I was just about to say, never mind.
Whatever.
Or maybe Mr. Punch came from this prototype or something.
Mr. Punch.
Because it has like that hook nose, big chin. It looks kind of like a jester face or like an evil witch, maybe. But it was so out of place.
I said old man face. I said the old man face is wild.
Yeah,
he kind of looks like a wretched old man.
Yeah, like wrinkly. But it felt so out of place because all the rest are very like mannequins you would see in a store.
Yeah. But they're all like screaming and singing. Like it's all very but also like it's very horrific. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a
and
lot.
Eventually she has had enough of this bullshit. She picks up this little axe and swings it into the back of Mr. Slauson's head while he's dancing with this mannequin.
Oh yeah, man. And he just collapses and dies. And Molly lets out this like horrific scream.
Yeah.
Like from like the bottom depths of your soul.
Yeah,
scream.
like she is so just emotionally and physically exhausted and mentally exhausted.
Yes, exactly. And then we cut to a close-up of a vulture like opening its wings. And we see a car coming down the highway.
It's Jerry's car.
It's Jerry's like 1900 Jeep. And it's Molly in the front seat.
Yeah.
With her 3 friends as mannequins. And she has a big ass smile on her face.
And it just freezes on her smile. Like,
and I don't know how that Jeep is running because I thought it couldn't start, but apparently
I think Mr. Slauson was
just messing with it.
Yeah, making it not start because he has powers.
And that's the end.
And that is the fucking end.
That is Tourist Trap.
Woo! Ooh, buddy. There's a lot to unpack. So what do you think happened in the end? Do you think that she just lost it?
So I did look up like the meaning of the ending. And this is what I found about the ending. Okay. Hold please. Okay. That like so this I don't know how am I gonna say this? So Jocelyn asked the director, like, I don't know how you want me to portray this. Like, what do you mean I'm just happy?
Yeah.
And so they had this kind of discussion about it because that was what was written is that she's happy and she's with her friends. And he told her, play it like you are on a drive going to see like your best friends. Like you're going to hang out with your friends.
Which to me sounds like she lost it because
that's how I read it too. Like like it just drove her to insanity.
Yeah, because she's seeing all these mannequins turn into people and then back into mannequins and she doesn't know what's happening. This guy has telekinetic powers. At one point she's sweating in the bed, which makes me feel like she's, I don't know.
Yeah, she's kind of losing it a bit.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah. And then also, I don't know, you just saw your friend dismembered, but like as a mannequin in front of your face with Jerry.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. And then you killed a man. That's also a factor.
No, for sure. I mean, I don't know how you could come out of that unscathed.
Yes. So to have to play it like you're happy tells me like, okay, well, obviously you're not okay because you should be traumatized from what you just experienced.
No, 100%. Stephen King praised the film, referring it to a sleeper and a gem. And he considers this movie to be one of the scariest he's ever seen.
It's such a scary, creepy movie.
It's scary, dude.
I mean, the mannequins, I feel like, still hold up today as being so creepy, especially because of how it's done.
I'm with you.
You know, it's a practical effect.
I know.
So, oh my gosh, like that first scene with Woody was so
dude,
jarring.
The pipe going in his body, it's so, oh my God, it's so gross. Like,
it's the mannequins for me. It's the mannequins laughing for like 3 minutes straight for me.
Dude, and it's all the sounds and I guess on set, it was actually very quiet. It was a very quiet set.
Interesting.
Yeah, which I think a lot of the actors stuff, they liked that it
Yeah.
was like quiet and it was like, you know, kind of calm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like any set I've been on, I've always heard people calling out like quiet, everybody stay quiet, even between takes. Like let's keep
Right.
it quiet, keep the set quiet. Cause it does. Like you sort of I think it definitely helps everyone if it's not like loud and chaotic and there's like a commotion all the time, right?
Yeah.
You know, I think you can like focus better and yeah, so I did read that it was like a very quiet set.
Yeah. I also read that this was shot in 24 days.
Is that like what would you say that's like short?
I think it is, right?
I would say for maybe this type of movie because there's so many moving parts.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess 24 days is. I think yeah, I guess so. Compared to Jaws, which was like over 100.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think Jaws was originally supposed to be 60 days
Yeah.
and it went to 100. So yeah, I guess 24 is like a short shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some fun facts, but I want you to read yours first.
You go, please.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to save some of mine for our post.
Me too.
Show. Okay, cool.
I have a lot, so that's why I was like, you know what? I'll save some for the Patreon extended.
Tell me some. I want to hear them.
But I do have some because I want to talk about Chuck Connors.
Okay, let's hear it. Yeah.
Okay,
Baseball player 6'5" Chuck Connors.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's okay.
So I was right earlier when I said Chuck Connors was he is one of only 13 athletes in the history of American professional sports to have played in both the NBA and the MLB.
Whoa.
He was on the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Whoa.
And the
Michael Jordan did both too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Brooklyn Dodgers. It's so funny because normally if you ask me a sports question, I'd be like, I have no
I
idea.
don't know.
But I do know that one.
If it's hockey, I might know, but that's it.
Yeah. Brooklyn Dodgers, Chicago Cubs, and then for the NBA, he played for the Boston Celtics. This was in the late 40s, early 50s.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dude, that's wild.
He was in a bunch of Westerns. His biggest role was starring a 5-year role as Lucas McCain in the highly rated ABC series The Rifleman.
Cool.
That was like late 50s into the early 60s.
All right.
So that was after his basketball, sports career. He did that movie, or I'm sorry, the show. And then, this was 79. So you can kind of
Yeah.
piece together that part of his life.
Damn.
Yeah. And it
That's
blows my mind
cool.
that he was never trained professionally, to
Yeah.
become an actor.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I love that.
This movie also stands out as a rare PG rated slasher because, and I didn't realize why they were emphasizing this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, because PG-13 didn't exist at the time. That's why they're saying it's
right,
not.
dude.
Because when they said PG, I was thinking of PG-13 movies. And I'm like, oh, no, not PG-13, PG.
Yeah, it's like Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Right?
Because the script originally included nudity that was ultimately removed because David Schmoller was too bashful to discuss it with the actresses during casting.
Oh, wow.
And as he should be,
And honestly, like, it didn't need nudity.
It did not need nudity.
It really didn't.
But I'm sure it's because they had who they had and they're like, well, if they want to do it. And so what I read was that he brought it up like on set and they were like, no.
Hard pass for me.
Yeah, now that we're already here, so no.
I think we're good.
Though if he would have asked during casting, they might have said something different to get the job. You never know.
Right.
But it didn't need it.
No.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I do have like random stuff here, but I feel like we can save it for
Our post show?
our post show.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So, guys, tell us what you thought of Tourist Trap. I personally love this freaking movie. I think it's so weird and creepy. And I just remember when I watched it for the first time, my mouth was hanging open the whole time.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
We also have an Instagram, a YouTube, a TikTok. Thank you so much for all of your support on those. You can support us for free by watching our YouTube videos, by interacting with our reels, shorts,
Yeah.
engaging with our Instagram, things like that, following us.
By giving us a 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcast. It really, really does help the podcast grow.
Yeah, and we appreciate you so much. We also do have a Patreon. You can follow Patreon for free. We do post every week, except for the weeks where we're actually recording, like this week. But we post what our next episode is going to be the following week. And if you are a subscribed patron, we end up posting our whole lineup once we film it, so you know what's coming ahead.
Yep.
We also have bonus episodes, extended episodes,
Early episodes.
Early episodes. We do a live watch along quarterly of a movie, which will be coming up probably in June. So very excited for that quarterly one, a quarterly Q&A. So check it out, and you can also follow it for free if you want.
Hell yeah.
And we also shout out our top tier patrons, which I'm going to do right now, and I'm going to do it in reverse alphabetical order.
All right, let's do it.
Toby is trying to
He's
eat
trying
the blanket.
to eat my blanket. I'm like, no.
Okay, so we have Rob V. We have Millie C. We have Josh N. Jonathan W. James C. I would like to. Heather D, Franchise Driller, David T, Chris S, Alexis T, Adrian G, and Adam B.
We appreciate you so much. Thank you for being top tier patrons. We love you guys.
Okay, bye.